What's up guys, Brian here from Renshaw's PT. We're gonna be going over a back exercise today, one of my all-time favorites, and I'm gonna be giving you 3 solid tips in order to perfect your form. All right guys, so I hope you're training smart, I hope you're staying consistent, and I hope you're tracking your progress with every day that you're working out. What we're gonna be going over today is a back row exercise, a one-arm dumbbell row, and I'm gonna be demonstrating how to do this correctly, small little tweaks that you can make in order to perfect your form and really make your time used correctly in the gym. We don't wanna waste time, right? And you guys know I'm a big believer in form and making those small tweaks to really optimize each repetition. So keep in mind guys, you don't have to use a heavy weight to doing dumbbell rows. I see guys in the gym every single time I'm there and they're going extremely heavy, especially with dumbbell rows, using momentum, swinging their hips. It's just not needed. All you need to do is adhere to these 3 simple tips, slow things down, and you're gonna be able to lighten the weight a lot more, which is going to limit your injuries, first of all, easier on your joints. But using the correct form, you're gonna be actually able to get more out of each repetition and build more muscle and get better results sustainably, okay? And that's what we're all after. We don't want injuries. We wanna perfect each exercise as best as possible. So tip number 1, guys, is going to be a hip hinge, and you gotta make sure that you're doing this correctly, okay? And you can see here, I'm actually holding onto a bench, bending my knees slightly, keeping my legs about shoulder width apart, and I'm actually keeping my lower back straight and then pushing my hips back so my glute pushes against the back wall, okay? And this is gonna help keep your lower back flat, so while you're doing the rows, you're really gonna be able to contract the lat muscles, as you're rowing that dumbbell up. If you were to not do this, it's gonna put your lower back at a injury risk position. We don't want that. And then we don't want to be working your biceps more, which, that will happen if your lower back is not straight and it's curved, okay? So to get the lower back straight is tip number 1 that you really want to make sure you do to get your position correct. Tip number 2, guys, is going to be to keep the elbow in and row the top part of the dumbbell to the lower pec. And I like to use this as a guide because with each repetition there, you're gonna get a better contraction if you focus on keeping that elbow tucked in, pulling that dumbbell or the top part of the dumbbell to your lower pec, and then obviously really just pulling your shoulder back slightly and getting that nice contraction with your lat. So just visualize that happening with each repetition, almost like a bullseye right on your lower chest. And with each repetition, you're gonna fill it more and you're not gonna fill it in your biceps or any other muscle group. Tip number 3 is gonna be a subtle change, and it's more of an advanced tip, but I want you to try this out and see how it feels for you. And you can see here, I'm actually lifting my opposite foot or my opposite toes up off the floor, and I'm holding it there as I'm doing the opposite arm with the rows. So if I'm rowing with my left arm, I'm gonna be just a little bit lifting up the front toes of the right foot and holding it there. And what this does is actually slightly relaxes that right leg, so you're not using any hip, momentum or any leverage with that opposite leg. And I find that happens a lot when guys go too heavy, is they'll really pull up with the opposite hip to really generate momentum. So by doing this, you actually slightly relax that right leg or the opposite leg, and it's gonna make the repetitions extremely difficult, which is what we want. We wanna go lighter, make the reps harder, and get better results over the long run, guys. So these 3 simple tips, apply these for one-arm rows, lighten the load a lot more than you normally go, make the repetitions harder, and your results will be better. Hope that makes sense. Guys, if you're interested in getting a program that's gonna help take you to the next level, improve your form, increase your confidence, and give you faster results, I do offer a custom workout program, Ultimate Body Transformation. I'll put that link in the description. Like always, guys, I'm all about training smart and just helping you optimize your time in the gym. Hope you enjoyed the video. Nothing fancy, guys. keep training smart, and I'll talk to you soon.